Greetings, YouTube denizens. Pull up a chair and grab the popcorn, because today we're going to be talking about why creationists ask the wrong questions. Greetings, YouTube denizens. I'm Herc, and I'm back to talk about why creationists are too ignorant to ask the right questions. Okay, here's what's going on. They will ask a question like, where are all of the transitional fossils? There are no transitional fossils. See, that's the wrong question. The problem with this whole idea of transitional fossils is that all fossils are transitional. That was easy. No, really. Evolution is going on all the time. And when we find a fossil, it's just a spot on the landscape. If we go back in time, consider that the evolution is a long ribbon, and we just picked out one point in it. Everything's transitioning all the time. And when we find one fossil, then we find another fossil, and then we find another fossil, all separated by time. Well, we're not finding all the fossils in between. We can't. There aren't that many. A good point to make here is that evolution doesn't happen in an individual. It happens in a group. Even though a mutation may happen in an individual, it has to be able to pass that on to other individuals in the group, and in order for that particular trait to survive, it has to work. So this trait gets spread about. Remember when I talked about the frequency of alleles? Well, that's what this is. That allele, or that particular version of the gene that's better than the other genes at survival, has to be passed around through the entire group. And when you want to say, oh, well, a transitional fossil is something that's between other fossils, well, they all are. Something is either evolving toward extinction, or it's evolving, improving, becoming something that can survive. There's that one taken care of. The next question is, how come I never see a cat give birth to a dog? Boy, I guess you're probably just not breeding them right. Kidding! No, seriously, nobody ever claimed anything like that. It's kind of like this. Let's go back in time. Let's go back in time to when the very first organism we could call a modern-day human was born. When was that? I don't know. Maybe 200,000 years ago. Maybe 100,000 years ago. Maybe 3,000 years ago. We don't know because we don't have genomes going back hundreds of thousands of years. But it's likely that at some point in time, something must have qualified. If we draw a little line and say something qualifies at this point, but not before that, as a modern human, what did its mommy and daddy look like? And the answer? They look just like baby when baby grew up. Because evolution doesn't happen all at once. Things don't give birth to other things, and no one ever claimed they did. So the real question is, maybe how long did it take for a modern human to evolve, and how long ago was that? Here's a fun one. How come human footprints appear on top of dinosaur footprints? Yeah, now pull the other one. Oh, I believe it's Glen Rose, Texas, in the Paluxy riverbed, where they have found human and dinosaur footprints together. But it's kind of an industry, you see. The residents over there kind of tend to sneak out to the riverbed at night with a hammer, a chisel, and a flashlight, and they make their own footprints. Did I mention creationists lie a lot? And this one's kind of sad. Wouldn't it be fair to teach the controversy? Shouldn't creationism be taught in schools alongside evolution? Oh, sure, and let's teach the stork theory of reproduction while we're at it, to paraphrase Judith Hayes. That's a wrong question, all right, because when we want to teach science in a science class, it has to actually be science. Creationism isn't science. In fact, what creationists do is try to tear down science. They want to rip it apart because, well, the Bible and science don't go together well. If you were going to learn about evolution, where would you start? Well, here's a little sampling from my own collection. This is a sampling of my books about evolution. They're probably not all here, but most of them are. Where do you start? What would you read? Well, I don't think it matters so much what you read. You might want to start with The Magic of Reality if you don't want to grow up, because that one was written for children. But basically, read any book. If you don't understand it, read another one. But read it anyway. Eventually, it'll make sense. And I think that's what's important. If you just read creationist web pages, you're not going to get anywhere. The reason creationists don't ask the right questions is because they already have answers. They have answers to their own questions, and they're completely satisfied with that. What they're not satisfied with is there's this evil evolution lurking in the shadows. They can't deny it's there. So they have to try to make it look as if the evolutionists are wrong and they're right. It's like most of belief. And religious believers think that they have answers, and they think that they have a book. They carry the book around under their arm. Most of them haven't read it. And they think that it gives them all the answers they need. I think they're wrong. I hope I've given you something to think about. Thanks for watching.